welcome to your daily dose of inspirational and life-changing Bible studies designed to equip you to conquer your world. We encourage you to share this devotion with your family and friends, even start a watch party. We know that you will be blessed and edified. Today's daily devotion starts now.
All right, a pleasant good day to all who are tuned in. Welcome. My name is Timothy Grant, and I am here today with my good friend, and I'll allow him to introduce himself, and then I will tell you what we're talking about. Pleasant good day to you, sir.
Yes, good day, Timothy, and good day to all. My name is Jeremy Wilson. I am a nutritional coach, physical training instructor, and physical educator.
Right, so we're focusing on the first one he said, nutritional coach. Or they don't get frightened. So what he's really talking about is food, and we are fully aware that Christmas is coming. What can you eat? What you going to eat? The question is, will you eat it? Or should you eat it? So he's going to just give us some more information with regards to nutrition and how he got into the whole nutrition field.
All right. In terms of nutrition, I started my journey in the military. I started at the Air Guard, and I was actually a certified physical training instructor in 2007. And I always had the interest for nutrition. And while at the base, I had a lot of colorful, healthy nicknames: green tea, wheatgrass, all the healthy nicknames wheatman, all the different healthy nicknames you could think about. And I decided to go on. I went on to UE. I did physical education, and then I went on to become a certified nutritional coach. And the passion for helping people to feel well with nutrition, using lifestyle changes and understanding that we could actually make these changes. We are empowered and motivated to make these changes, to live that healthier lifestyle.
All right, so getting it from good sources, right? It's not, well, I read a book at a time and I feel I could tell people about it. No, it's not that. You hear the gentleman? He is qualified to be able to tell you. So let me ask this question. A lot of times people, when they ask about nutrition, right? The question is, what works for me? Because a lot of times it comes down to where people see these diets. So the question that I'm asking, what are the possibilities, or what are the chances, or what are your thoughts with regards to, all right, just pick a diet and go with it? What are your thoughts on that?
I have the notion that it's never one size fits all.
Right.
We are all equal in the eyes of God. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to our body, nutrition is different. In other words, one food may work well for one person, but somebody else, that same food could be a poison. So you have to understand what works for your system, what works for your body. All right, so we have different metabolic types. We have different blood types. There are different things, and some people may actually be sensitive to certain foods. All right, there's also a difference between a sensitivity and allergy.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. Mm-hmm. So a sensitivity could be something that a person eats, they ingest,
right,
and sometimes only after about 24 hours, they start feeling the side effects. Okay. This could be dark circles under the eyes. This could be lethargic. This could be rash. This could be, it's not instant as an allergic reaction. It comes sometimes 24, sometimes 48 hours after. All right.
So let me just get this clearly here. So it's possible that somebody could be consuming something that they are sensitive to and unaware of because they, in their mind, have no allergies.
Yes.
All
yes,
right.
so true. And the thing about it is, especially as it relates to, in terms of like, for the example of dark circles under the eyes, some people may not predicate it upon nutrition. They might think, okay, It's just
I
how my
sleep.
eyes are.
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
so it comes a little deeper now to understand, okay, what works for you. And for example, that sensitivity, to know a sensitivity, a simple test is something called the pulse test.
All right. Let me
So
get some
what
information
a
here.
person does with the pulse test, no, if you have a smartwatch, is always better.
Nice. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Because
Don't have any smartphones right now, but go ahead.
right.
Talk to me.
Right. So essentially, is ingesting a food. Let's say you have a suspect that you're sensitive to peanut butter.
Right.
All right. Let's see. So you have the peanut butter. You look at your baseline pulse. Let's say your pulse is about 70 on a normal day.
Right.
You sit down. You have your pulse at 70. You ingest the peanut butter. No physical activity while sitting down. Within
Just
10
relaxing.
minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, if you naturally just see that pulse spike to 80, 85,
Right.
90, without even exerting any physical activity, that's a sign of a sensitivity. So in other words, our pulse increase when our body is actually sensitive to our food.
Right. That's it. So guys.
And of course, with sensitivity, joint pains is a next big pointer with sensitivity. So some people, their joint pains could be predicated upon being sensitive to a particular food, but they're unaware, using medication, using painkillers, not understanding that that particular food has that sensitive effect on them.
So I'm just saying, so what you're trying to say is that it's possible that, and I'm not calling any foods, that particular food that you like, and every time when you finish eat that, boy, my foot does hurt me when I finish. Is a possibility, a sensitivity that you are having to that particular food.
Yes, some sensitivities could be very weird for different people. It could be a joint pain. It could be stiffness in the neck. It could be a dark circle under the eyes. Sensitivity could be different for other people. I will say, you know, it comes with a little experiment. Now, people could do expensive invasive tests,
Right,
to determine if they're allergic to certain foods. But that's like the MacGyver way to see what you're sensitive to.
Let's say, right, someone is watching right now and they're wondering, do I have any sensitivity towards food?
Right.
What will you tell them at this present time? Will you represent the pulse test?
Yeah, I could recommend the pulse test. And from a general perspective, there are certain foods that are normally categorized as the sensitive foods.
Right. So give me some examples.
Peanut butter, soy,
Right.
dairy, wheat, which is a big one.
Yeah. because
Some people may
we-
actually feel bloated after eating wheat and thinking, okay, every time I eat, I realize I'm feeling bloated. Not
Yeah.
actually tying that into the wheat or the bread. You know, so
Because most of the times they recommend, if you're having bread, let's have the wheat.
there were some people that actually have the sensitivity to the wheat.
So, right again, we're going to give you some information here. So, if you want to see by chance and you don't have to go and spend this exorbitant or it's going to cost you anything, all you need to do, right? Check your pulse. So, what you can do, check your pulse, see what it is, right? Let's say about 70, 75 in that range. You know, that's how it normally is. Have something, some of the food, so you can have the peanut butter, have the dairy, even try the wheat and see what happens. And then you'll be able to now see if you have a sensitivity. Of course, allergies are a bit straightforward. You will know.
Allergies will be
Immediately,
agent,
almost
immediately,
immediately. Yeah.
Piriton and all of these different
Right.
medical interventions are needed to treat with it.
All right. So with that being said, so we're talking about everybody's different. What are your views when it comes to calorie counting? Because I know there are individuals that are saying I will want to use the word, they testify with this. They say, here's what, I have done it because I watch what I eat here and I watch what I eat here and I watch what I eat here. And that is the only way, if it is you want to go up any weight or go down any weight, and we'll come to that in a little bit, that is the only way. You have to check those calories.
You're right. When I was at university, there's a nutritionist from Jamaica, Patricia, I forget her surname at this point, but she has a book with actually all the Caribbean foods.
Right.
Double,
Correct.
breadfruit,
Correct.
and counting calories. She gives per serving what calorie amount for that food in a
Correct.
Caribbean sense, right? And what I would say is it depends on the personality type. some people have that A-type personality that they like things a particular way and they could maintain that order.
Right.
Some people, they will start and they will just drop it away.
Understood.
Put it at the side. So I would say it all depends on the person to know if that could work for you. However, eating to the point of feeling, I would say about 80% satiated, satisfied is a good marker to use. And if for example, if a person is aiming to lose weight,
Right.
they probably will want to use a lot more protein as compared to the carbohydrates.
So
right?
I like how you said that because
Yeah.
that's actually, so that's basically the next question I was going to ask. When it comes to losing weight, because I'm telling myself, all right, so should I have a certain amount of protein? Should it be carbs? Do I go on this, there's this keto diet now? Should I do this intermittent fasting? Because a lot of times you find people are focusing on losing weight and not necessarily gaining,
Yes.
right? We'll come to that a little bit,
Yes,
right?
yes, yes, yes.
So what are your thoughts or what will be your advice with regards to that? An individual with regards to, listen, I'm trying to bring down my weight a little bit. The doctor said I'm a bit over. Let me see what I can do about it. What will be your advice where that is concerned?
One thing I will say when it comes to weight loss is watching the carbohydrates, especially the simple carbohydrates. So case in point, the wheat. And what makes the wheat one of the things that spikes high levels of insulin. Now, insulin, it's good. We need it. It's responsible for several things in the body. However, insulin is also the fat-storing hormone. Right. Now, when you think about flour, there was a guy in the 1970s, just to probably give a quick history, Norman Bolag. So he basically came up with what we call the hybrid wheat. Right. So say like the wheat would have been about 5 foot or 6 foot tall before it basically the hybridized wheat or the hybrid wheat is now about 4 feet.
4 feet.
It's much shorter. It's much robust. Pests cannot penetrate it. The farmers started getting a lot more yield. This guy actually won a Nobel Prize for this experiment.
Right.
However, the side effect of it was down to a granular level. There's something called amylopectin A.
Right.
Now, this is responsible while we are chewing. It is responsible for the body actually picking up the sugars.
Right.
Now, that amylopectin A, due to the fact that it's hybridized, it actually increased the amount of sugar in the bread.
Right.
So bread is a very big spiker because of that hybrid. I mean, most people don't know the history.
Of course.
But because of that hybridized wheat, it spikes the blood sugar much more. All right, so case in point, on the glycemic index chart, which represents 0 to 100, 100 being sugar itself, right?
Right, correct.
Wheat is about 79.
Wow.
Sugar is actually about 65. So how can bread on that glycemic chart, index chart, be actually higher in terms of reading sugar? I'm reading in blood sugar or glucose. It's actually higher than sugar itself.
So with that being said, what do I eat? So I'm thinking about a breakfast, right? Most of the time, and then I'm looking at it economically.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
What do I eat in the morning? Because, all right, cricks might have worked, but it have weak cricks. so what do I consume on mornings as the case may be? So I just want to give a slight idea what I could consume on mornings or like on a daily basis with regards to that.
All right, good question. What happens, especially culturally in the Caribbean, I could say that bread is a major staple. I mean, people may have it for breakfast, some people may have it for lunch, some people may have it for dinner. Some people, they go on exercising, realizing, okay, how can I not lose this weight? I running, I walking, I lift, I in the gym.
Yes.
This belly ain't going on. Because of this amylopectin A spike. Now, what we could do in terms of substitutes? Consider, I mean, there's something I personally do. There's the oat flat bake, right? Simply grinding up the oats, right? Putting it on those tortilla press.
Right.
You could put it on a tawa or, platine, as you say, and, turn it, let it cook on one side, turn it over on the other side.
Yes.
And that could actually be a wrap that it wouldn't spike the blood sugar as bread. Am I saying not to eat bread at all? No, I'm just saying that if you really want to lose weight, you wouldn't want to have bread every day.
Okay.
You know, probably less
Twice
than
a week, three times
twice a week.
Okay.
Once a week. It depends on your goals and
Really
depends
goals.
on how
Nice.
much your discipline you're willing to put in.
Okay.
The body's not going to say, I must have bread for breakfast.
Correct.
We have a stereotype that we must have that
Yeah,
bread.
yeah, you
for
must have a
breakfast,
you
or
must
some-
sandwich.
or,
Yeah,
or-
correct.
or cornflakes or something
Correct.
sweet.
Correct.
We should actually, if a person is interested in weight loss, we should
Mm-hmm.
switch that model to be more of trying to have a savory breakfast.
Okay.
And this could look like even green fig.
Okay.
Boiled green fig with a piece of fish or with with eggs.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's an economical thing. I think green fig could
Yeah,
probably
yeah, yeah,
be,
yeah. Green fig isn't. Yeah.
how much
yeah.
a pound in the market?
Yeah, correct. So in that case now, could we even do, because so what you were saying, you could look at breakfast from a totally different angle.
Yeah, your body's not going to say, okay, I must have bread for breakfast. You could give your body vegetables, steamed vegetables,
Yeah.
and some eggs for breakfast.
Excellent.
What happens, you could actually feel satiated with protein.
Correct.
And not have to spike that first insulin blood sugar spike early in the day.
Early in the morning.
So what
Right.
happens, you can actually, more than weight loss, a person could actually have more energy in the day if they take the bread out or substitute the bread
Right.
in the day and use probably more of a high protein, if avocados in season. Well,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have some avocados, some eggs, and probably some
So-
steamed veg, and you could actually have that for breakfast. It's okay.
So you heard it right here, right? What we are doing is just giving you the information so that you can apply it. So what he's saying, not don't eat the bread, but minimize the amount in which you take it in. So we spoke about our whole losing weight as the case may be. So I'm 6'1", let's say I'm 170 pounds, 160 as the case may be, but I want to put on some size, man. I find I'm playing like basketball, like football, and them fellas touching me on the bunk, and I'm moving. They're moving me with that. I don't have. What will you recommend? And the question I'm going to ask: do you think me lifting weights or going to the gym is something that is needed if I really want to put on some size? I want to put on some pounds. I want when people see me to see some muscle.
Right.
Talk to me.
Well, good question. Unless you want to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger, well, you know that you have to go in the gym.
Right. Okay.
Right? If you're just looking to put on some body weight, you could actually do like calisthenics, your push-ups.
Right.
I mean, if you have a little squat bar at home, you could do some squats. But ideally, when it comes to putting on muscle, because most people may want to put on weight, especially
Correct.
the ladies, they want to put on the weight in the right places.
Correct. Right.
So this comes with basically recruiting the muscle fibers. This comes to lifting to the point of failure.
Nice.
Right. So after recruiting the muscle fibers, after tearing up these muscle fibers,
Yes.
what is imperative is that you keep in what we call an anabolic state. So this looks like having sufficient protein for your body type. So I mean, a general rule of thumb
Right, general rule of
is having protein about the size of your palm
Okay.
with every meal,
All right.
right? Because if a person wants to gain muscle and they don't do that, the body is going to catabolize. It's actually going to eat basically itself. And where you'll be training hard, you might be stronger, but that muscle is not going to grow. It will be in that catabolic state. So to be in that anabolic state, you have to ensure that any proteins are right up.
So give me some examples of proteins that we can use, because we spoke about the weight loss. We're speaking about the weight gain right now. So give me some examples. I'm training, I'm doing my push-ups, I'm doing my squats, right? I'm getting it in. And I want to see that where I put on now where let's say I used to wear a medium jersey, because of the arms and things. I'm going to a large.
Right.
I want to go up to a large jersey.
Sure.
Give me some of the proteins that I can probably eat on a daily basis, and how much will you recommend with regards to me? Can I just say, here's what? All I'm going to have is some salad, but most of the times, when I'm on pat chicken on my plate and put some lettuce. I
Right.
just give you an example.
Yeah,
Not
yeah,
the extreme,
yeah,
give an
yeah.
example. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, when it comes to gaining muscle, what you have to do is there's actually a formula to
Right.
calculate based on a person's height, body weight, to actually calculate that amount of grams of protein that they will need on a daily basis.
Okay.
So once that's calculated, then let's say for that particular example, 6'1", 170 pounds. Let's say I don't have the actual equation before me, but I could just
Right.
estimate. Let's say they need to ensure that they're in that anabolic growth state. Let's say they need 100 grams of protein.
Right.
Right. So how this will look like is actually, all right, so for breakfast, they could have about 25 grams. That could be eggs, that could be, as you say, nothing stereotype.
Right.
That could be a piece of chicken,
Yeah.
a steamed chicken. That could look like even for the vegans, a handful of nuts. And I must say, for vegans, it's much harder to gain muscle.
Correct.
Right, because
The sources of protein.
the protein, the lycopene, there's a particular protein amino acid that really helps with growth, and you get that more from the animal-based protein as compared to the vegetarian proteins. But so lunchtime, a piece of chicken or fish.
So you
Still
basically
same palm size.
right.
Mid-afternoon could be like a punch or a smoothie.
Nice.
And then at least a piece of protein again, depending on, most people will have chicken, but
So
you
you
want to
spread it
actually
out.
spread it out.
You spread
You
it,
don't want to
okay.
have like all in one. You
That's
want
the
to
next
spread it
question.
out
Okay.
throughout the day to always have that constant supply to feed the muscles.
So will me having more? So you said 100, and I said,
Right.
yeah, what? I want to increase this. I want to get this faster.
Right.
So you know what? He told me 100. I'm going to do 200. But I'm just asking.
Yeah, and every good thing, you still have to balance it, right?
Okay.
Because now, if too much protein, this could lead to conditions like gout. This could lead to, a lot of acidity. So you still want to at least balance.
Maintain.
Yeah.
So you're going with the information that is given to you, not, boy, I feel I could do this better. Let me just try and double up on it.
To extreme, yeah.
So let's talk about, we talk about gaining weight, talk about losing weight and some of the things that you could do. Let's talk about detoxification and the
Right.
body and how we can do that with regards to that. Just give us some information on that.
Right, but detoxification is something I believe that everyone should do. We are an environment where, sometimes the things that we even put on our skin could be toxic.
Correct.
Right, we air, everything. So there's so much toxins in the food, right now in terms of pesticides, in terms of herbicides. There's a lot of chemicals. So I will always
Right.
say detoxification should be a part of a person's routine. A simple way to detoxify.
I want to ask. Go ahead. Talk
A
to
simple way to detoxify could be some water, warm water, with a quarter of a rough skim lemon. In the
me.
market.
Warm water.
Yeah,
quarter
quarter
of
of
a
a skin
lemon. It's about that. It went up a little bit.
Yeah,
But,
it went up a little bit.
but it's just how much I need? One? Just one?
Just what you could do it actually for economical reasons. You have a lemon, you cut it in 4,
Right.
and at least you have that quarter to use every morning.
So how
As
much
simple as
water?
that.
How much water? I'm
Yeah,
using?
just about I would say 6 to 8 ounces of water.
6 to 8 ounces
But
of
you
water.
want to actually make sure that it's a little warm.
Okay.
Right, and you squeeze that quarter of a lemon there, and just simple as that could actually detoxify the body. Just simple as that.
Simple
That could
as
be
that.
a simple detox. Our next detox could be actually something called oil pulling, where
Right.
you take in just a little bit of coconut oil, swish it around your mouth for about 10 minutes when you wake up,
Right.
and there's that basically the fats basically draws the toxins out from your system.
So first thing in the morning.
Yeah, first thing in the
So I'm
morning.
just switching it around in my
Switching
mouth. Some
coconut
coconut
oil, cold pressed coconut oil preferably.
Right.
And also those are daily things that we could do to maintain, in terms of ensuring that we are detoxification is being done. However, if a person's every now and then wants to do something a little deeper, right? Some people may want to do fasting, which is a natural way to detoxify the body
right.
because after about 2 or 3 days, cellular debris,
Yeah.
toxins, the body metabolize or cannibalize all of these dead cells, dead debris, anything within the body that is could even cancer cells,
Right.
So autophagy is what this guy he won a Nobel Prize in 2016. A Japanese guy, basically what he realized is that if you fast, the body itself will heal itself. The body itself will start that detoxification process.
Nice.
However, while detoxifying, the prize fighter, the liver, will always need protein. right? And that is why if someone is working in an environment, let's say they're dealing with a lot of toxins,
Right.
they have to be careful because the toxins are stored in the fats.
Right.
So while actually going through this metabolic process and detoxifying, they could actually feel really, really sick while detoxifying. Yes. So it has to be a process. You have to know what you're doing.
The environment that you're in.
Yeah,
etc.
the environment that you're in. A simple thing is a plant-based protein that you could have 2 or 3 times a day
Right.
to aid the liver, the prize fighter, to help in that detoxification process.
So that's only if they're fasting at that point in time.
Yeah, if they're fasting, I mean, if they're doing a complete fast, I would say, don't go more than 3 days.
Okay, so
right?
complete fast don't go more than 3 days.
Because what happens is those fat stores could really bring out some stuff in these to circulate in the blood that can make people feel unwell.
Yeah,
headaches.
Basically.
Yeah,
right.
all of those are reactions most times to toxins.
All right. So next question that I'm thinking, I hear a lot of things about good sugar, bad sugars, and in the midst of that, I'm also wondering, how do we make eating healthy foods, etc., more attractive for the younger persons? Because sometimes they're like, nah, it has so much, because remember we have this whole foodie nation now, right? Where they have all these foods available. How we could make that a little more attractive to them?
All right. Well, I mean, in terms of sugar substitutes, there is now on the market. There's coconut sugar.
Right.
There is xylitol, which is also a sugar substitute.
So coconut sugar,
xylitol. The xylitol in particular is actually good for dental. In terms of it protects the teeth. It gets rid of the S mutain, which is basically that bacteria that causes cavities. So it's really excellent, and you could have that as a sugar substitute in your tea instead of the normal sugar
itself.
Yes, even dates is low on the glycemic index. If you're having a cup of, let's say, a milk-based tea, you probably blend up a couple of dates with it. So there are natural ways that you could still have that sweet tooth and not spike the blood sugar as much. Those are some of like my main go-tos when it comes to sugar substitute.
So in a general, somebody's looking at us right now, and they have heard, okay, if I want to do the whole gain weight, I must have a certain level of protein, but I need to spread it out, right? I could do some push-ups, I could do some sit-ups, I could do some squats. It will help me. If I want to look a certain way, of course, I have to reach to the gym. That's understood, right? We got that aspect of it. Also, with regards to the losing weight aspect, what you have to do now is watch, and one size does not fit all. So you will be advised to check a nutritionist, check somebody who might be able to give you some level of information right here, right? I'm just saying that. So on a whole now, if you could say one good thing for focusing on your health today, what would that be? Right? Because we people talk about mental health and all these things. Yes, that's important. But focusing right now, if you want to give some advice, here's what. This is something you can do, because you mentioned detoxifying. So I'm already thinking, hey, lime water, right? I'm thinking about the coconut oil, to those basics. So besides, give me something that we could basically give our viewers that information with regards to something they could apply on a daily basis, or something they could implement from, let's say, tomorrow.
Right. And I would take it I could answer that question in 2 parts. Right. Let's look at, there's a concept called blue zones.
Right.
Right. So blue zone represents cultures or people that tend to live much longer.
Correct.
Than the average.
Blue zone.
Right.
Nice.
The blue zone. So we have, there are actually 3 blue zones. There's Sardinia, a place called Sardinia in Italy. There's Okinawa, Japan, the Japanese.
Right.
And there's also a blue zone in Loma Linda in California. This is the SDAs, the Seventh-day Adventists.
Right.
And if there's one common denominator amongst the 3 groups, one, movement.
Right.
They're always moving.
Movement.
Right.
Nice.
Movement. So exercise. Some people may tend to walk alone. I'm saying, okay, a day might go lift something heavy.
Yeah.
All right, give the bone some resistance.
Nice.
All right, because that helps to maintain bone density, increase bone density. Because if the bones are not getting that resistance, it tends to decrease in density, especially with age.
Correct.
So movement is important. Our next big factor was community.
Density, right?
Community.
So, community.
So where there's that social
movement.
aspect,
Nice.
communication, love. Coming against loneliness, making sure that
relationships are
important. Relationships are important.
Right.
And that, in terms of relationships. And then there's that, I'll say the last one, which is in that last common denominator, having food in its natural state.
Natural state.
All right. So this will look like more the provision, the fish. Let's watch the man-made and the process.
Blue food.
Blue food.
So
blue zone.
just now. Blue food, blue zones. So, wow. So because we always, I recently I was just to go for the past weekend going, and I say, how this place feels so different. It's 15 minutes away.
Yeah.
I love Trinidad. I love Trinidad. I love our country. Most beautiful place in the world. I'll always say that. I don't care what they say. I declare that over and over. But Tobago always feels so different. And I remember when we go up in competition against Tobagonians, tug of war. How do these people always win? How do they always win? And somebody suggests that's natural. And Tobago's a sense of community, because where I stay, man said, nah, I don't need to lock the door or yourself. And everybody know everybody, hey, how you going? And just that
harmony, that love.
Harmony. So I've seen it. And as you mentioned it, wait now, blue zones, blue food.
So I like that connection.
Yeah. So once again, ladies, gentlemen, right, we want to say thank you very much for joining us. So we just want to, again, leave you with some pointers. So we're talking about nutrition, and in the midst of it, he mentioned that what you need to do, always have movement taking place. So it doesn't make sense I eat all the right things, but I'm not doing any movement, right? Community, relationships. Who am I interacting with? Who's speaking into my life? Who I'm flowing with? What they are saying to me? Who are the people that I have in my circle? And then in the midst of it, you're trying to eat as much as possible foods in their natural state. So it means go in the market. If you're from San Fernando, the market is excellent, great prices, great. Of course, things sometimes go up. You just watch and work it to suit, right? Any closing thoughts?
Just to probably encapsulate the children and the generation. I didn't really touch on that aspect. With children, things are more, caught than taught. When we lay down that example, when we show children, how to eat healthy, I mean, we have to be the example.
Correct.
So a quick joke is my son, just about 2 or 3 years old, he was eating some Rock O'Reilly, right? So he will see me eating that Rock O'Reilly, and he just he want to try it, so just that a quick joke to share that, with children, we have to be the example. We have to show them, okay, eating healthy, taking care of yourself, that healthy lifestyle starts with us as parents to basically, make them. And of course, there are ways that healthy foods could taste well. You could just add some nice mango sauce, to a nice, that same oat bread. You add some sauce with some eggs. It could make things tasty. Health doesn't necessarily need to be this bland, thing that not tasting good or don't have any flavor. We have a lot of spices, we have a lot of herbs, we have the ginger, we have turmeric, we have so much things that we could use from a natural perspective to add to make the food tasty.
Right. So you got the information here, and at this point you probably heard so much and you're wondering, but wait a minute, talk about nutrition, talk about all this stuff. If I want to get some information, how do I contact this gentleman? So I want you to give them some information where they could get whatever handles you have, etc., even as we close up.
Yeah, sure. I have a Instagram, Facebook. You could reach me on Yatab Health. That's YATAB Health. So Yatab is a concept I came across. It's basically the Hebrew word for well. God wants you well. To make better, to amend, sweet, to make beautiful. it's a holistic word of wellness. So Yatab, so look out for me on Instagram. I'll be posting help posts on Instagram, or even on Facebook. So you could also reach us there and send your questions and your comments. Because God wants us well, and I really believe that.
So, once again, it has been an absolute pleasure. So it's Yatab Health, right?
Yatab.
Right. Yeah. Yatab, look out for it, because even as we celebrate life and we celebrate each other, we want to be able to give you information to better, because God said we're going to enjoy this life in the land of the living, right? So even while you're living and you're enjoying life, so it doesn't have to be dreary, it doesn't have to be, oh my gosh, right? Oh God, that's so hard to do. Good sense of community, good sense of love, good sense of communication, right? And it's all about, even as we leave, just think about it, we try to reach into that blue zone, right? So once again, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, my name is Timothy Grant. It has been a pleasure on behalf of Men's Prayer, right? We say thank you for being with us. God bless you, God keep you. And join us once again, all right? Yes, every third Friday, we'll be here bringing information, bringing love, bringing vibes. Have a great evening. Bye, everyone. God bless.
God bless.
He took the form of man. Yeah, yeah. Now your blood is available to me. And now your blood is available to me. Now your blood Count it all joy, count it all, sin washed away. I am saved. Count it all joy, count it all, you saved me, you have saved me. Count it all joy, count it all, sin washed away. I am saved. Count it all joy, count it all, you saved me, you have saved me. I was so joy, I was so confused. Oh, but you saved me, Lord. I count it all joy, yeah. Saved me, you have saved. Does anybody need it? Does anybody need it? He's available. He's available. He's able to save. All joy, you have saved me. Savior, Savior, hear my humble cry. Why